Game number 6, we have the Renegades at the Longhorns. The Longhorns pulling away with a close one here, 21-17 last week.
We also have interviews with Longhorns owner Chris Navarro, as well as the head coach of the Renegades, Chris Thomas. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and a convincing win at that. 21-17 win with 8 seconds left on the clock, starting the first game of the PCFL season in a major way for the Longhorns. You know, that dramatic stab with 8 seconds on the clock, finding the Longhorns capital K, capital C, Clapsdale in the end zone for the score. What's the momentum going into the next game against the Cougars for the Longhorns?
Well, just to make a correction real quick, his name is Casey Clapsaddle. You know what, the momentum going into with the Cougars is, like I said in our first interview, just one at a time. We're going to go in and try to fix the problems that we had last week and keep the momentum going on the offensive end.
Well, now with KC holding things down on the offensive side through the air, what balanced out your offense as far as KC? What balanced his game out?
Actually, you know what? We got 20 out of 40 passes thrown out. KC caught 6. We were pretty balanced across the board. You know, we had Kenny Reeder. He caught a 38-yard touchdown. Sammy Gleason, he's another receiver. You know, he didn't break anything real big, but he was pretty consistent, catching the ball, getting a small yardage. And, you know, our running game as a team as a whole, I'm not really sure the exact number, but I think we put up somewhere between 100 and 150 as a team on the ground.
Now, with ice water in your veins for the Longhorns, showing everybody in the PCFL season the first week with the dramatic win with under 10 seconds, what's your defensive strengths that you found out of the first week for the Longhorns?
Well, you know, our defense was shut down. Everybody sees a 17-point give up, but our defense only gave up 7 points. The special teams gave up a touchdown, and their offense gave up 2 safeties. One of them was deliberate by the coach to try to kill some time off the clock. The strength of, you know, our defense is, you know what, we tackle real well, we hit really hard, and you know what, and our experience is just phenomenal.
Excellent. So what was the deciding factor of the outcome of the game for the Longhorns' victory last week?
Heart. I mean, to be 100% honest with you, my guys did not give up. Like you said, you know, ice water in our veins. My guys have been at this, you know, in these situations. Going into the fourth quarter down 9-0, we punched out 21 points straight inside the fourth quarter to put it away. Even when things got bad, my guys stayed up. But you know, the momentum flipper, I would have to say, is the diving forward interception by Brandon Catneeds. Nice.
So with the Twin City Cougars coming up next week, what's your game plan going into next week? What do you know about the Cougars?
You know, they're a very good team. I give them their props. I know Juan and Jessica very well. Like I tell everybody, even with a loss last week, you know, last year they lost their first game and they came back and they rattled off, you know, 11 straight victories to win the NorCal title. They are the defending champs, you know, and we're going to go in there with a lot of respect. They've been running pretty much the same system and pretty much the same defense for the last 8 years. Nothing's going to be really new with them besides a few personnel changes, but we're going to go in there and, you know, we're going to try to stand toe-to-toe, and we're going to try to beat them with speed.
So you're pretty familiar with the Cougars, the Longhorns.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, they've been running pretty much the same system with a different variety of offenses, but it's pretty much, you know, predominantly they've been a really great run team through tackles, off ends. They got a big offensive front, a big defensive front. You know, we're just going to go in there, we're going to play our game, and we're going to try to establish dominancy. And if, you know, we come out a winner, we come out a loser, we're going to hold our heads high and know that we gave everything we got to the reigning champs.
Well, you know, the Cougars, they have their hands full for their game plan. Casey Clapsaddle is our semi-pro offensive player of the week. 6 catches, 103 yards, 2 TDs, and catching the game-winning TD with 2 seconds on the clock. Superb victory right there, and congratulations, Mr. Navarro, on the win. Very close loss last week. First game of the season for the PCFL, a nail biter with under 10 seconds left, 8 seconds on the clock, a 17-21 loss to the Longhorns. Can you go through the deciding factor going up to that? I know they caught a touchdown with under 10 seconds left. What was the deciding factor? I know it was a close game all the way up until the fourth quarter.
Well, the deciding factor for that game probably would have been, our defense played a great game up until the fourth quarter. But, clock management affected us a little bit on this game.
Now, the clock management was a deciding factor in this game. I've talked to you before, and I've talked to the Longhorns owner, Chris Navarro. He says that, the clock was the deciding factor in this game. As far as, losing the first game of the season, you have the Warriors coming up this Saturday. What have you learned as far as your offense out of the first game of the season?
As far as the offense, we're going to have to, adjust and make some changes in our offense. As far as the offensive line, they do their job, but, everybody got to work together and make sure our plays get off.
Now, as far as your offense, you had a very good a very successful catch by wide receiver Benny Beth, 50-yard TD catch, pretty much bringing your team within reach. You also had success on the special team side with a 75-yard kick return by Josh Taylor. You're getting the offense down, you're getting the special teams down. What do you see as far as the defense for your team coming up next week against the Warriors?
Our defense is our strength of our game. Our defense is pretty strong. As long as they continue to talk and gel together, I think that's going to be tough to beat our defense.
And as far as the Sacramento Warriors, what do you know about them so far for the game coming up?
None other than they're part of, the team in our league. We're looking forward to playing for them. Other than that, we just want to make sure that we take care of business on our side of the ball and do what we need to do to get the W.